Episode 209. Today we see what's happening down on the farm and are joined by 2025 third round pick for the Pittsburgh Pirates, Easton Carmichael. You're listening to the Bucko Banter podcast brought to you by the Just Baseball Media Network. Cue the music.
Rockin' 101, she compliment my taste. Whiskey in my lemonade, cause I like the way it tastes. Best seats at the Pirates game, they let me run the base. Yeah, my time is like my money, cause I can't afford to waste. Wifey is a lawyer, take my date to my dates. Order steak by the plates, and in case after case, run my race at my pace, clear the grass of the snake.
Adam, welcome back to another episode of Down on the Farm, and also welcome back to the States, man. How was your weekend getaway to beautiful Vancouver?
You're right about the beautiful part. That place is unreal, man. The weather was perfect. I know it rains a majority of the year there, but kind of a nicer Seattle, in my opinion. We were just out west to see the Pirates in Seattle score 0 runs, and now I was like, I need to redeem myself by going back out to the West Coast and just relaxing, treating myself to a nice weekend with some of the friends from high school. Really, really good time. Almost saw some baseball.
The Canadians, man. They sell out like every game. It's electric, I heard.
It looked electric. And I was surprised. I saw so many people and I was like, is this an independent like ball game? I'm like, it was a Saturday. So I'm like, maybe people are out. No, we were walking through the park. I believe it's Queen Elizabeth Park. And then there's Stanley Park. I posted a video about it. Super nice. But I was trying to convince the boys, like, maybe we just stop this walk right now, head into a minor league baseball game. I couldn't rally 7 other guys to do it last minute. I knew if you were there, we would have dropped everything.
And we would have gone. Yeah, absolutely.
Easily. Would have had a little bit more to talk about for Down on the Farm. But yeah, man, really, really cool city. I forgot there was a minor league baseball team out there. So yeah, good to be back.
Low A for the Blue Jays, I believe. So they'd be like Bradenton for the Pirates. But yeah, pretty cool, man. We'll have to make a trip out there again.
100%. I am jealous that you were back in Pittsburgh because the one weekend that I miss Pirates baseball, of course, they're playing the Rockies. So I'm like, all right, I'm not missing much. Playing this trip a long time ago. You get to see Clint Hurdle.
Yeah, pretty cool. He's a great guy. He said, love what you guys are doing with Bucko Banner. I was like, let's go.
Yeah.
He's super, super nice guy. And I feel like he's just grown on me the more that he's, the further we are away from his tenure. Not that I have any ill will against his tenure here as the Buccos manager, but just one of my favorite people in baseball.
I was very jealous of that photo. I was like, man, that's one thing I missed out on was that photo. Awesome photo, rocking the Geigers, super sick. Second, you got to see Bubba Chandler debut.
Yeah, I was pumped about that, man. The ballpark was electric. Even though there wasn't a lot of people there, it felt like there was more when he came into the game. It was fireworks night, end of August. Your top pitching prospect in baseball is debuting. You'd think there'd be more people there, but as soon as he entered the game, the energy went up, and man, did he not disappoint, man. The one takeaway I had from that appearance was he was ready. He was absolutely ready. You could tell. He came in guns a-blazing, painting 100 on the upper corner, just unhittable, man, and doesn't lack confidence. I think seeing him and Skeens in this rotation in the future is just going to feed families. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
The video of him screaming on the mound after getting, I don't know if it was his last strikeout. I don't know what the situation was.
I think it was, yeah.
Got me fired up. I was showing people that absolutely do not care about Pirates baseball that were around me that don't even watch Pirates baseball. I was like, you got to look at this. They're like, who's that? I'm like, brother, let me take you to school on some Bubba Chandler. I was absolutely pumped to watch all the video that I can get my hands on this weekend. Yeah, you're right. He looked ready. And we've been saying it for a long time of the reason he was pitching poorly or not up to the standard that we're used to for Bubba Chandler was he's probably getting in his own head, right? You get off to such a hot start and then you don't get called up and then you start thinking, what else can I do? And that can be counterproductive, right? Yep. Not every adjustment is a good adjustment. And I think Bubba is the perfect example of that. You just had to let him go and let him be Bubba Chandler. And I think what we saw on Friday is going to be peak Bubba. I don't even want to say peak. It's going to get better as that arm develops. He's so young.
Yeah, I'll tell you as someone who's pitched in the past, like being in your head is the worst place you could possibly be on the mound. Some guys are able to mentally adjust, but I would venture to say most guys aren't. And you don't want to think too much when you're up there, man. You just want to let it fly, be who you are. And that's who Bubba was on Friday, man. It was electric stuff. I don't know how often we're going to see him because he's in this bulk relief role, but he's also like a starter. So, I mean, he went 4 innings.
Right.
And it was electric. Him and Braxton. I think one of the biggest takeaways from this weekend, Colin said it yesterday, the young arms looked so good. Mike Burrows, I thought, was pulled early from his start on Saturday. Braxton Ashcraft, Bubba, even Carmichael looked good. And then Skeens on Sunday to cap it off, which is no surprise through 50 career starts, but very promising future. It's a good team is not too far off if you add bats.
Wow.
I'm just going to say it. That's a crazy take, I know. But a good team is not too far off, man. Imagine an October with Paul Skeens and Bubba Chandler, followed by a Mitch Keller or Hunter Barco or a Mike Burrows. The pitching
or
Jared Jones. I mean, it's something you can get really excited about. And I'm going to stop myself here because you don't want to get too excited as a Pirates fan, but it's something to think about.
Well, here's the deal. I think you can get excited because Jared Triolo has arrived. I saw you tweet it out from the account.
Someone's and I'm glad that you're back because I want to get your take on this. I know this is down the farm, but I don't know if you saw Stump's tweet. I think there's a legitimate change in his swing with his hand positioning.
Right.
Okay. Take a look at that if you haven't already. It's something I talked about with Colin a little bit yesterday. I know this has happened last year with Jared Triolo, and I'm being cautious in believing it just yet. But you know how I am with Jared Triolo. I'm going to believe.
I know. That's why I brought it up. I wanted to get you going. Yeah.
So I want to believe in the actual change. Is what I was going to say.
Yeah, and I think any Major League Baseball player is capable of making that adjustment. It's just a matter of can you make that adjustment and also stay consistent with it. And I honestly, I haven't watched the video. I think last year he made a pretty good adjustment in terms of his load and the whole operation. But I mean, something as slight as moving the hands up or down or just closer to the body can help significantly. I think my main issue with Triolo is he has such an old school classic type of swing that just really doesn't play anymore. Like trying to get short and quick to the ball is like a 6'5" infielder.
Do you remember, did you ever have coaches when you were younger saying roll the wrist?
Yeah.
Get on top of the ball.
Yeah. That's how Jared Triolo usually swings the bat, though. It's like, let's be real. That's kind of how it looked. It not necessarily might have been what's happening, but that's how it looked. And I think if he gets longer through the zone with that barrel, there's a ton of power to be had there. He has sneaky pop when he barrels a ball, but it's just far and few between.
He's a big guy. You think there's more power. I have to say this real quick. Whenever I think of coaches saying roll the wrist and get on top of the ball, all I can think of is Josh Donaldson on MLB Network saying, if your coach tells you to get on top of the ball, tell him no.
Yeah.
So
yeah, chicks dig the long ball. Yeah. So let's go to some headlines before we do. Scott, did you place any bets this weekend and did you win?
I did, and I did not win. Big shocker.
And why is that?
Because I did not use any kind of methodology behind my picks.
Such as?
Maybe a certain app.
Called Rhythm.
Yeah, there we go.
There it is. If you downloaded Rhythm, unlike Scotty, you would be most likely richer than you are right now because Rhythm would have given you data-backed, easy-to-use interface that would have given you the best return on your investment, showing you all the best bets to be had at Major League Baseball. They'll even identify them for you with a little lightning bolt, which indicates a power trend. You could download Rhythm using the code, all caps, just the baseball 50 for 50% off the entire year. Download Rhythm, try it free for 7 days, and bet smarter while using Rhythm. Scott, let's go to the headlines. I'll get us kicked off here. Tuesday, Tim Meza, Justin Lawrence, Eric Diamond all began rehab assignments with Bradenton. Matt King promoted to Greensboro. Cam Janik reinstated from the IL. Axiel Plaz reinstated from the IL and heads to Greensboro. Friday, infielder Dylan Palmer placed on the 7-day IL. Go listen to that episode if you haven't
Yeah.
already. I believe it's the last Down on the Farm
Mhm.
episode. He's a dog. Great
Yeah.
interview with Dylan Palmer. Excited to see him next year. Infield, Carlos Caro transferred from the FCL to Bradenton. And the Pirates have 5 players with at least 30 stolen bags this year in the minors. Connor Griffin has 60. Yordani de los Santos has 50. Wyatt Sanford, Johan de los Santos, Edward Florentino all have 30 plus. And then Deuce Gorson has 29. Mitch Jebb has 28. Scott, what about the rest of the week?
Yeah, unfortunately, Edward Florentino was placed on the 7-day IL. I think his season is over, but definitely a bright spot for the Pirates this year. There's only 2 more weeks of the minor league season unless they're going into postseason. So any IL stint's going to end your season most likely. Sunday, the Pirates claimed outfielder Ryan Kreidler from the Tigers. He was DFA'd 2 days ago. This is a 27-year-old who has hit 105, 190, 105 in 17 big league games this year. Has a 784 OPS in AAA Toledo this season. He was a 4th-round pick out of UCLA in 2019. This is just another, utility player that Ben Cherington's taken a stab at. This is a guy who's played third, short, first. He's played a little bit of everywhere, but the bat is a question mark. So the 40-man roster is now completely full. That he took the last spot, but he's been assigned to Indianapolis to finish the season.
Speaking of Indianapolis, let's go talk about what they did this week at the Syracuse Mets, the Mets AAA affiliate. Indianapolis right now is 73-52. Nick York, man, 11 for 26, 6 runs, 2 doubles, 8 RBIs, 1 walk, 4 Ks, 2 bags taken. Cam Devaney, 4 for 22. Rafael Flores, 8 for 23, 4 runs with a double, home run, 6 RBIs, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts. Tuesday, Hunter Barco, 3 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned, 1 walk, 4 Ks. This was Sproat via Barco. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Brandon Sproat and Hunter Barco.
Sproat, right. UF alum duel. They had such a great staff, such a great program there. Wednesday, Flores hit his 2nd home run. Thursday, Dario Moreta, 1 inning, 1 walk, 3 Ks. Nick York went 3 for 6 with 2 doubles, 5 RBIs. And Flores again, 4 for 5 with 3 RBIs. Friday, Brandon Bidwell, 1 inning, 1 1/3, no hits, 1 walk. Saturday, Flores 1 for 4 with a double. Sunday, Barco again, 2 2/3, 6 hits, 4 earned, 1 walk, 4 Ks. Nick York went 2 for 4 with 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, and a stolen bag. And then Sammy Ciani in AAA right now, 2 for 4 with a home run and 3 RBIs.
Hey, man, good to see Brandon Bidwell up in AAA, huh?
Yeah.
He made it up there last year. This is a guy that I think could see some big league time, if not before the end of this season, maybe next year. Altoona, they were home against the Reading Fightin' Phils, AA affiliate for the Phillies. They're at 59-60 right now. Tamar this week went 7 for 23, 2 doubles, 3 RBIs, 2 stolen bags. He's at 270 on the year. He's been upping that average as of late. As Merlin Valdez, 4 for 17, 2 RBIs, 4 walks, 3 Ks. Mitch Jebb had a better week, 8 for 20, 3 RBIs, 2 Ks, 2 stolen bases. He's at 268. And Connor Griffin's first week in AA, 6 for 21, 4 RBIs, 2 walks, 8 Ks, 4 stolen bags, 286 on the in AA so far. Tuesday, this was his debut, playing batting second and playing shortstop. He was 1 for 4 with 1 RBI, 2 Ks, and a stolen bag. Wednesday, Wilbur Dotel went 6 innings, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, 1 walk, 6 Ks, 2 homers. He's got a 4.58 ERA on the year. Thursday, Connor Griffin went 3 for 5 with an RBI. Mitch Jebb went 3 for 5 with an RBI as well. And then Friday, Omar Alfonso, 1 for 4 with a double, 1 RBI. He's at 213 on the year in Altoona since being called up. Antoine Kelly pitched on Saturday, 3 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned, no walks, 2 Ks, limited the damage there on the 7 hits, 291 ERA. O'Neill Cruz began a rehab assignment, 1 for 4 with a triple, 1 RBI. And then Griffin 1 for 3 with 1 RBI, 2 stolen bags. I'm pretty sure he drove in on O'Neill Cruz, and I think we put out there, man, that's going to be something that we're going to see in the box score soon in Pittsburgh. Hopefully, Connor Griffin driving in O'Neill Cruz. And then Sunday, Tamar Johnson 2 for 4 with a double, 3 RBIs, 2 stolen bags. He's got 20 stolen bags in the year quietly, hitting 270. So shout out to Tamar. I want him to finish strong. But Adam, take us into Greensboro.
versus the Greenville Drive, the high A affiliate for the Red Sox. Greensboro right now is 82-37. Will Taylor on the week, 4 for 16, 3 runs, 2 doubles, 1 RBI. Sammy Stafora, 2 for 20, 3 runs with a double. Tuesday, Lonnie White Jr. hit his 12th home run on the year, had 2 RBIs. Wednesday, Connor Weekreef, 6 innings, 3 hits, no earned, 2 walks, 4 Ks. Callan Moss, 1 for 4 with a double and an RBI. He's hitting 356 in Greensboro. Thursday, Will Taylor went 1 for 4 with a double. Friday, Christian Curtis, 3 2/3, 2 hits, 3 earned, 4 walks. Ivan Breathauer, just acquired for Rogers at the deadline, went 1 for 3 with 2. He has his second home run over there in Greensboro, 2 RBI. Saturday, Peyton Stumbo, 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned, 1 walk, 6 Ks. Axiel Plaz, 2 for 4 with a double and a home run. And then Sunday, Callan Moss, 2 for 4 with his 5th home run in Greensboro, or just in high A, probably, right?
I think that's Greensboro since he's been acquired. Yeah, he's got 5 home runs, which is what I was gonna segue into Bradenton before I got to the Marauders. Do we consider Callan Moss a legitimate prospect? Because I think he's earning it.
I love the swing.
Yeah, I'm a big Callan Moss fan.
There's a ton of power. It's pretty compact, quick through the zone. Obviously a big boy. Like, what's not to love?
I think they're onto something there.
They could be onto something. I mean, some guys fall to the wayside, but we'll see. I think there's still a lot of time. He is a college guy, so I'd like to see him get some more upper level reps, but who knows, man?
D2 college guy too, St. Leo College in the Tampa area. But you know, this is the real test is going from Greensboro to Altoona, seeing how the game translates, because it's a bandbox in Greensboro, as we know, and in Altoona, you really figure out if it's real or not. So we'll see. I'm sure he'll get up there next year. But let's go into Bradenton. They're playing the Daytona Tortugas at home, the low A affiliate of the Reds. Bradenton's 56-63. Yordani De Los Santos on the week, 7 for 25, 4 doubles, 2 RBIs, and a stolen base. Tony Blanco Jr. went 5 for 17, a double, 2 homers, 5 RBIs. And Edward Florentino, 4 for 10, 2 doubles, an RBI, a walk, a K, and a stolen base. Tuesday, Meza went 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, 1 K in his rehab stint, while Justin Lawrence went 1 inning, no hits, 1 K, 1 walk, 3 Ks in his rehab stint. That frisbee slider is making his way back to Pittsburgh. Tony Blanco, 1 for 5 with his 5th homer of the year, 2 RBIs. Well, Edward Florentino went 2 for 5 with 2 doubles, 1 RBI. And then De Los Santos went 3 for 5 with 2 doubles, 2 RBIs. He's at 253 on the year. Wednesday, Matoma went 1 inning, 2 hits, no earned, 1 K. Well, Tony Blanco Jr. hit a homer in his 2nd straight game, his 6th on the year, 2 RBIs. He's at 300 on the year. And then Thursday, Brent Iredell, well, he's like a 7th round pick out of Arkansas, I believe, 2 for 4 with a double, his 1st homer as a professional, 3 RBIs. Ian Farrow, 2 for 3 with a triple, his 6th homer of the year, 5 RBIs. He's hitting 221, showing some pop and some speed since being called up from the complex. And Richard Ramirez, the catcher, another catcher that the system has produced that you should keep an eye on. 2 for 5, his 5th homer of the year, 2 RBIs. He's hitting 256. He's got some sneaky pop. Friday, Tim Meza pitched again, went 1 inning, no hits, 1 K, while Justin Lawrence produced the same line, 1 inning, no hits, 1 K. De Los Santos went 2 for 5 with a double and his 50th stolen bag on the year. And then Saturday, Cameron Keyshock, draft pick out of Samford, D1 school in Alabama, 2 innings, no hits, 3 Ks out of relief. And then Johnny Severino went 2 for 4 with a double. He's hitting 209. Kind of a disappointing year for Severino, but hopefully he finishes off strong. Sunday's game was canceled, so that's it for the Marauders this week.
Player of the week is Nick York. And how could it not be? 11 for 26, 6 runs, 4 doubles, 8 RBIs, 1 walk, only 4 strikeouts, 2 stolen bags. Got to see some Nick York soon. Gotta. Saw it a little last year. Got to see it now.
It feels wrong to have him come up in the same role the last 2 years as a September call-up. But I when he gets called up, I hope he gets everyday playing time because he has earned it. And we might as well see what you got with him, man.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Good stuff down on the farm. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow all the social media. We're going to take a quick break right here. and then we'll be back with Easton Carmichael.
All right, now joining us on Bucko Banners, Pirates 2025 third-round pick and current Greensboro Grasshopper, Easton Carmichael. Easton, welcome to the show, man.
What's going on? Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
First off, congratulations on being drafted, man. Huge third-round pick out of Oklahoma. Where were you when you got the call from the Pirates, and what was that moment like for you?
Yeah, I was just in Prosper, Texas, my hometown, just a little bit north of Dallas, and that's kind of where I spent, I guess, the 45 days or so after the collegiate season ended. That's kind of where I was at. And so, yeah, all draft night, just kind of letting it come to me, not putting any unneeded pressures or expectations on it, just kind of trying to enjoy the moment. But yeah, actually my buddy found out before I did. Oddly enough, I think his broadcaster, he was following the tracker, not the actual video. And he sent me a text, and I was like, what? And then all of a sudden it pops up on the TV, and then my agent calls me, and then a little later I come in contact with the Pirates. But yeah, it was a wild deal, but it was something that's going to be funny, and me and my buddy will share for the rest of our lives.
Absolutely. Did you have a sense that the Pirates were interested in you before the draft? Like, what were those conversations like prior to being picked?
Yeah, I mean, it was, ironically enough, the very first team I ever did anything with in high school was Pittsburgh, which was kind of funny. And John Lombardo is kind of the area supervisor, cross-checker for Dallas, or for that area. And so I've known him since I was junior in high school. And so we've always had a good connection. And I always knew he liked me. Just obviously you understand how it goes. I mean, sure. Sometimes the team that likes you most doesn't get to pick you up. Well, then my first meeting this past fall, before my junior at Oklahoma, was with the Pirates as well. So Brandon Rimbert was the actual area scout. And so he was my first meeting this past fall. So yeah, I always knew there was interest there, but obviously you never know until you know. And then kind of leading up to draft night, everything was fairly quiet from Pittsburgh side. There's some other teams in there, but again, you never really know until something happens and when push comes to shove. So yeah, I knew they liked me, but you never have any idea.
Did you have a sense of where you were going in the draft? Like, did your agent have an idea, or was it more of a surprise for you?
Yeah, I mean, you have kind of ranges where you expect. I think the draft was kind of wild with a lot of high school shortstops going early, some shakeups at the top. But yeah, I mean, you kind of have a sense, but once everything started shaking out a little differently than a lot of boards or people anticipated, I think it pushed a little bit of the college class back a little bit. But nonetheless, I'm super happy with how everything planned out, because at the end of the day, it's just God's plan.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this class was also a very strong prep class, so that makes sense. You were also drafted with one of your teammates, Brandon Kane. He's now a Pirate as well. What was that like? I know he was more of like a two-way player at Oklahoma, but being able to, join a professional organization with a guy you're familiar with is probably, makes it maybe somewhat easier. You might know some other guys too, but it's a guy that you've played with already.
Yeah, it was kind of cool when I saw B. Kane get called. It was one of those. I remember when B. Kane found out that he actually had a future in pitching. It was funny. We're well past halfway in the collegiate season, and we're on an off day, and we're just kind of hanging out at the field. And he was like, I just want to kind of throw a bullpen just because. And he gets on the mound and just an easy 94, 95. And we're like, what the heck? Because he was just an outfielder all season for us, and just easy 90, 94, 95. And we're like, what's going on? And then that week in live at bats, it was either like Wednesday or Thursday, Skip Johnson, like, hey, like, we want you to throw in live at bats. And he threw in live at bats, and he was like 97, 98. And we're like, this is unbelievable. And so obviously didn't get into, I think, only like one or two games there at the end of the season, because at that point, I mean, the season was basically over. And because we also wanted to make sure he was healthy and ramped up, so he didn't hurt himself. Well, then he goes out to the draft league and shows out. And so, yeah, whenever I saw him get the call was really cool. And it also probably eased the nuances of Pirate City when we got down there to start getting ramped up to get placed.
Absolutely. That raw velocity probably just comes more natural to some guys.
Oh
He
yeah,
played the outfield too, I think, so he
yeah,
already
for
has the
sure.
arm. So
Yeah, and his brother's a football player. I think Auburn. So it's like that whole family has that athletic gene.
absolutely. What part of your game do you think improved the most at Oklahoma?
Um, I mean, I can go down the whole 9 yards. I mean, I think the defensive side for sure. I think out of high school, I was probably a more defensive minded player. Just with my dad catching and learning a lot from him, I learned how to catch probably more so than hit. I feel like I've always had a knack for hitting, so that's kind of just came easy to me. But with some struggles, I guess, defensively throughout my career at Oklahoma, I think that's something that I had to spend a lot more time on, and just kind of really hone. I've always had the leadership aspects and understanding pitchers, learning staffs, building that trust and relationship with those guys. But obviously the physical demands that a high level catcher has, I mean, it's definitely a growth going from high school to college. And I think had I signed out of high school, I would have never been ready. And who knows where I would be now. But I think that was the biggest blessing of my career, is being able to go to college and understand those, I guess, the struggles and go through those and get better at. So I think I got way better defensively. Obviously hitting, again, that's something I've always had a knack for, I feel like. And so it's just diving into more approaches and understanding that and getting better at that, and really trying to understand who I am as a hitter, not try to be somebody I'm not. And I mean, Reggie Willits, our associate head coach at OU, did a great job with me on that, and really molding me into a smart offensive mind instead of just an aggressive, just go get it guy.
Absolutely. I mean, I think Reggie knows what he's talking about. His son
For
was
sure he
in
does.
1-1. So,
Yeah, for sure.
what's been the biggest transition going from college ball, high level college ball, to the minor leagues so far? You've spent about a month in Greensboro. What's that been like, that transition?
Yeah, I think it's just the freedom of everything. I mean, it's truly the schedule. Yeah, you still have a schedule starting at, I don't know, 4 hours before a game or so, but I think it's just the freedom of everything. It's not as a rigid structure as say college is, but you also don't have as many responsibilities as college. I mean, college, you have classes, you have to be at lists, you have to be at tutorings, et cetera. Whereas professional baseball, you really are just playing baseball, and you don't have any other expenses outside of just maybe food here and there, or anything else that you want. So yeah, that's different for sure. And it was kind of weird. It was last week when we were in Bowling Green, my family got to come out and I got to stay with them. Well, in college, you got to stay at the hotel. You got to follow this strict schedule. So I got to have some family time there. So that's really cool. I think it's a little different having to find a routine, because again, everybody is on their own routine. Some guys like hitting a lot before games. Some guys don't like hitting hardly at all. And so it's really individualized. And so it's finding your own routine and finding ways for you to truly succeed, best for yourself. Obviously, yeah, you want to win games, because when you win games, everybody around you has more fun. But yeah, you have to find ways to help yourself succeed the best you can. And that's, I think, the growth piece. And thankful I got to get out here so quickly, to go through that and face those struggles early on, to understand routine and how to succeed. Because at the end of the day, it's really not physical. I mean, everybody here knows how to play the game at a high level and has a talent to do so. It's just the routines and playing every day and things along those.
One common thing I hear all the time too, especially guys coming from a high level D1, is that the facilities might be a little bit of a downgrade going into minor league ball, because you're playing at, Oklahoma, some big SEC schools. They've got some phenomenal facilities and resources.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go into some small town in West Virginia, or, down south, and the resources might not be what they were in college, which is kind of ironic. But yeah, no, I've seen Appy League ball too, where guys coming from Oklahoma or Auburn or Alabama, and it's kind of like a culture shock. Have you experienced that at all?
No, thankfully I haven't. I mean, I feel like Skip and company at OU do a good job at just kind of having a gritty or a blue collar mindset. I mean, Oklahoma is one where have had a lot of success the last handful of years, which has been a good thing, and it's on the uprising. But to be honest with you, the facilities at OU right now are behind in the SEC standards, and so I've kind of understood to be grateful with what I got. We were still spoiled, don't get me wrong, but it's one of those of I'm grateful with what I have. I'm grateful with where I'm at, and also keeping the perspective in check too. Is like, and there's a lot of people that want to be here, and so it's like the only big difference I would say, I think, from coming from Oklahoma is you got to pack everything. Like at OU, they just pack everything for you, and you just literally had to grab your toiletries and get on a bus.
Sure.
Whereas like you just have to pack everything. But in the grand scheme of things, I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean, it's easier, and it's honestly probably helps my mindset because then I can control everything in terms of what I want to bring and things like that. But no, I mean, it's part of it, but that's also what I think is the beauty of minor league baseball and kind of going through the system is the higher you go up, the better things get. And if you don't want to be in crappy facilities, well, get better, get moving.
Absolutely. It's motivation for sure. Defensively, the game of the catching position is evolving, where there's the talk of automated strike zone and all that. What part of your game do you pride yourself the most on defensively? Is it framing? Is it pitch calling? Or is it just a general knowledge of the game? Whatever.
Yeah, I think it's probably just leadership and the connection with guys. I feel like this past year at Oklahoma, I've really learned that. I mean, I had a good staff at OU this past year, which helped me, but I also felt like I helped them too. It's building connections with those guys. And I think early on here in Greensboro is understanding a whole new staff. And I mean, they're 100 and however many games into a season, and you're having to come in and understand these guys right off rip. And so it's like, it's definitely been a struggle, but it's been fun because it is a challenge and understanding these guys and what they like, don't like, and how they go about their business facing batters. And so that's what I take the most pride in, is trying to find those connections and game manage. Because again, at the end of the day, everybody has talent. And I think the more connections you build and the more leadership and I guess intangible things of the game that you can show, I think that'll only help you in the long run.
Absolutely. Lastly, Easton, what type of player are Pirates fans getting with you?
You're going to get somebody who's uncommon. I mean, I've had success at every level I've been at. I've also had adversities every level I've been at, and I've overcome those. I mean, I think I'm a completely different player than I was, say, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And that's exciting because you don't want somebody that's going to be stagnant or complacent. And so that's what you're going to get, somebody who's uncommon, but also somebody that is going to bring up everybody around them. I mean, leads with confidence, but also goes about their business the right way and is persistent in what they do and persistent on how they want to be great.
Love that. I shouldn't have said lastly, because we usually end our episodes with asking guys if there's someone that they've played with so far in their minor league career that has wowed them. I know you've only played, a month with Greensboro, but is there someone maybe outside of Connor Griffin, because that's usually everyone's answer, that has wowed you so far in your start to your career?
Yeah, I'll say Jared Bayless.
Okay. Wow.
If you know, I mean, he's older guy. I only got to catch him twice here in Greensboro, and actually, I'm so happy for him. Just got called up to Indy, but man, he treats people the right way, goes about his business the right way. Man, I really hope he gets a chance to put on the black and gold in Pittsburgh, because I think, one, he could really help, but just goes about his business the right way, takes care of people, a good clubhouse guy, but just somebody that I think right when I got to Greensboro, I was just like, man, this like he goes about the business the right way, and obviously the arm talent on the mound shows as well, and just again, great guy, good player, and I hope he gets a chance at some point.
Love that answer. Yeah, I think we actually met him in Altoona. He came up and said hi to us, which kind of stuck out to me. So
yeah, great guy. And he's been everywhere too. And that's what's cool is just he's still with the amount of just different adversities he's faced. It seems like through his career, it just continues to plow through, and it's impressive. It really is, because especially in this day and age of even in college, you see guys jump ship or or say woe's me. It's just he continues to plow through things, and it's been really impressive to watch him. And even I was doing a little bit of kind of like research about him, so I'm like, I want to know more about this guy. I mean, he's a super good guy, and so I want to know more. And it's just, yeah, he's dealt with a lot of crap, and he's just continued to push through it.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that answer. Easton, I really enjoyed this conversation. Thanks for joining me. We'll have to do this again, but best of luck rest of the season in Greensboro. Keep putting up some dubs down there. I know that you guys are killing it. But yeah, best of luck, and good luck this offseason.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Seats at the Pirates game, they let me run the base. Yeah, my time is like my money, cause I can't afford to waste. Wifey is a lawyer, take my date to my dates or the steak by the plate.